University of Nigeria, Nsukka is holding its 55th Convocation, graduating a total of 12,895 students and will also award degrees and other honors during the ceremony. We'll now join the Rise News Outside broadcast team in Enugu to bring you live videos from the event. Stay tuned.
University of Nigeria, my alma mater.
Hail and rejoice for the sake of truth. When young men and women to seek for knowledge. Hail and rejoice for the sake of knowledge.
When the nations both and shout, you rule in the dead.
Hail and rejoice for our noble ideals. University lights and law, our dreams come true. Hail and rejoice for the giants our ways. My alma mater, my alma mater. Noble like I lose and die ideals. And praise our God in science and in art. In all directions, men in the world of life.
University of Nigeria, my alma mater.
Hail and rejoice for our lofty plans. The first of the sunset, a soft green hills. Hail and rejoice for our beauty's sake.
University of our glory, the bride of our land.
Hail and rejoice for our lights will shine. University lights and low, our dreams come true. Hail and rejoice for the giants our ways. My alma mater, my alma mater. Noble as I lose and I ideals. And great art thou in science and in arts. In all the realms of learning thou art taught so blind. My alma mater, my alma mater. Noble as I lose and I ideals. And great art thou in science and in arts. In all the realms of learning thou art taught so
Thank you, the Department of Music. May I request that as we are still standing, we observe a minute silence in honor of the soul of the elder brother of our Chancellor, the Oni of Ife. May the soul of the elder brother of our Chancellor and all the faithful departed rest in peace. Amen. Thank you very much. You may please be seated. May I respectfully invite for the prayers and Bible reading the Catholic Bishop of Nsukka Diocese, ably represented by Reverend Father Amuluche Greg Nnamani, the Vicar General Catholic Diocese of Nsukka.
Bible reading Psalm 15, 1-5. O Lord, who shall sojourn in thy tent? Who shall dwell on thy holy hill? He who walks blamelessly and does what is right, and speaks truth from his heart, who does not slander with his tongue, and does no evil to his friend, nor take up a reproach against his neighbor, in whose eyes a reprobate is despised, but who honors those who fear the Lord, who swears to his own heart and does not change, who does not put out his money at interest, and does not take a bribe against the innocent. He who does these things shall never be moved. This is the word of the Lord. The song now, Great is thy faithfulness.
Just know
us pray. Father in heaven, it has pleased you to enable us to gather in this hall today for the admission of higher degrees, award of diplomas and certificates. Lord, we are also here for the commendation of excellence in scholarship and service delivery. For all these, we thank you. For the years of labor which have brought our postgraduate students to this day of graduation, we thank you. Thank you too for the work of the countless team of supervisors, readers, and mentors whose collective efforts have guided our students through the painstaking path of research and publication. As these students receive their new degrees and the new social status that come with these degrees, may they ever be mindful of their responsibility to preserve their lifelong commitment to regional research and publication. May they be shining examples of disciplined scholarship to the upcoming generations of students. We thank you also for our worthy Professor Emeriti and awardees of the doctorate degrees honoris causa. May they continue to lead in their respective fields of endeavor. May their work continue to help in advancing the nation. May we be blessed by your soothing presence all through this ceremony. May all we do today be pleasing to you. And may your grace of safe travels return us all safely to our respective destinations at the close of our celebrations. Grant this prayer, O God, through Christ our Lord.
Thank you very much, Father Greg Namani. May I have the pleasure to invite the Registrar of the University of Nigeria to conduct the 55th Convocation proceedings.
Greetings, everyone. This is the 55th Convocation of a 66-year-old University of Nigeria, the first indigenous university. The assembly is well constituted for this convocation. The visitor to the University of Nigeria, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, here represented by the Vice Chancellor, University of Benin, Professor Edoba Omorige. So you're welcome. Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal University of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Tinubu, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, we welcome you, ma'am. She is here represented by Honorable Wahab Alawiye King, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public and Strategy Office of the First Lady. The Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa, ably represented by the Deputy Director, Mrs. Ijeoma Duru, and accompanied by Mrs. Efemena Rico. The Executive Governor of Enugu State, His Excellency Barrister Dr. Peter Ndubisi Mbah, our working governor, ably represented by the Deputy Governor of Enugu State, on his own right, Your Excellency Barrister Ifeanyi Osai. We recognize the Commissioner, Enugu State Commissioner for Education, our dear Professor Ndubeze Mbah. Members of the Federal Executive Council here present, the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, our very distinguished Chancellor, the Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, His Imperial Majesty, Oba Adeyeye Enito Babatunde Ogunwusi Ojaja II, the Ooni of Ife. We also welcome Professor Jalil Oju Ade, the Vice Chancellor of his university. Our dear wife of our founding father, Professor Uche Azikiwe, our revered Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council, Professor Adeboyega Adebayo Karim and his wife, Professor Olayinka Ramota Karim, the first female vice-chancellor of Fountain University, Oshobo. Distinguished members of the Governing Council, let me quickly run down the list, please. Our Pro-Chancellor, our Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, Professor Michael E. Onya, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academic, Professor Kamaru O. Usman, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Enugu State, Professor Josephat J.U.J. Onwumere, Representative of the Federal Ministry of Education and the Council, Mr. Ajide Joel, Professor Leki Oke, Mrs. Priscilla Ankiruka Okonkwo, Right Honorable Barrister Eugene O. Odo, and former Speaker, Muhammad Inuwa Tahi, MNI, Professor Idikake Idika, Professor Anthony A. Atama, Professor Emmanuel C. Ejim, Professor Agu E. Agu, Member Professor Ike E. Onyishi, Comrade Temple O. S. Onkwe, Dr. Mrs. Adobe Godwin, Professor Hyginus, you as a whim of our College of Medicine. Our dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Simon Uchenna Otuanya, and his amiable wife, Mama Barrister Ngozi Grace Otuanya, very distinguished Professor Emeriti and honorary awardees. Our former Vice Chancellors, I can see Professor Emeritus Professor B.C. Ozumba, Professor Ogwejiofor Ojam, and others that are not in sight now. Principal officers of our dear university serving presently, Professor Onya, Professor Usman, Professor Onwumere, Dr. Mr. Adobe, and Professor P.I. Ilo, the university librarian. Your Royal Highnesses, visiting Vice Chancellors, Provosts, and Rectors of other tertiary institutions. I want to recognize especially the alumni of this university that are serving as principal officers in other universities. May I quickly welcome Professor Aloysius Okolie, the Vice Chancellor of ESUT, the Vice Chancellor of SUMAS, Professor Obonna, the Provost of Enugu State College of Education, SF Technical, Dr. Stella Ekweme, the visiting registrars. I welcome in a special way Mr. Ambrose Ugu, the Registrar of ESUT. You are welcome. Our dear local government chairman, Provost of College of Medicine, Provost of College of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Malaki Okweze, Deans of Faculty, Directors of Institute Centers, Heads of Academic and Administrative Department, my Lord Spiritual and Temporal, the alumni of the University of Nigeria, members of the Student Union Government, our distinguished Professor Emeriti and honorary awardees, parents, guardians, friends, well-wishers, members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, lions and lionesses. Lions and lionesses. I have the singular honor to invite the Chancellor, His Imperial Majesty, Oba Adeye Enito Babatunde Ogunwusi Ojaja II, the Odi of Ife, to declare the convocation open.
As the Chancellor of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, I now declare the Assembly open as a convocation of the University of Nigeria, constituted for the purpose of conferment of higher degree. Thank you.
I have the honor to invite the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Professor Simon Uchenna Otuanya, to present his address to this convocation.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, visitor to the University of Nigeria. We thank you, our visitor, for the innovation of what is going on in the education industry in our dear country. For the first time, Your Excellency has made it possible for sons and daughters of the rich and the poor to acquire university education. Never again in our country shall it be said that a Nigerian child did not obtain a university education because of poverty. Thank you, Your Excellency, for the Nigerian Students Loan Fund, NEL Fund, that you have brought to bear on our education sector. Your Excellency, the Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Ndubisi Mbah, who served 2 days ago as our convocation lecturer, you are represented here by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Enugu State, Barrister Ifeanyi Osai, the Honorable Minister of Education of the Federal Republic, Dr. Tunji Alausa. You have brought energy, innovation, research, and scholarship to the education industry in our country. And we thank you, Honorable Minister, for all you have brought to bear positively in the education sector. Your Imperial Majesty, the Chancellor of our dear university, the Oni of Ife, thank you, our Father. Thank you, the leader of our university, for finding time to be here, to stand with your children. Our Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic, today, not just as First Lady, but as an awardee of the University of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, OON, CON. You are here represented ably by Right Honorable Wahab Kings. Thank you, Your Excellency. The Pro-Chancellor of our dear university, Professor A.A. Karim and his wife, again a professor and a Vice-Chancellor. Our Chairman, thank you. We want to welcome in a special way the Senator representing the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Enugu North in particular, Senator Ikeja Sogba, thank you. We note with admiration members of the National Assembly that are here. In no particular order, we recognize Right Honorable Dennis Abo. We recognize Right Honorable Chidi Obeta. And we recognize one of us whose wife is also being graduated today with a doctorate, Pharmacist Afam Naji. The rest of other members of the National Assembly and other members of the State Assembly, we recognize you. Members of the Governing Council of the University of Nigeria, you are all complete and in your numbers. Thank you for your solidarity and for your support for University of Nigeria. Members of management, deputy vice chancellors, registrar, bursar, librarian, provost of medicine and provost of School of Postgraduate Studies, deans of faculties, directors of centers, heads of departments, senior academics, the rest of the non-academic community, you also make us think. Our graduates today, our awardees, our friends, our visitors, but our lions and lionesses. I didn't hear that. One more time. Distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Arise, let us rebuild the University of Nigeria, reimagining the university, reinventing institutional capacity, and restoring the dignity of man. Universities are among the few human institutions that possess the rare privilege of measuring time differently. Nations often reckon history by elections, wars, or economic cycles. Universities reckon by generations of minds awakened, ideas cultivated, and lives transformed. Every convocation, therefore, is more than the closing of an academic calendar. It is the opening of another chapter in the continuing conversation between a university and the society it exists to serve. It is a moment for gratitude without complacency, celebration without self-congratulation, and reflection without nostalgia. Above all, it is an invitation to renew the covenant between knowledge and humanity. We gather today not only to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates, honor distinguished personalities, and confer well-earned degrees. We gather to reaffirm the enduring purpose of this great university and to renew our collective commitment to its future. When the Right Honorable Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe conceived this university, he envisioned far more than Nigeria's first indigenous university. He envisioned an institution that would serve as the intellectual conscience of a new nation, a university that would liberate the African mind through knowledge, inspire leadership through character, and contribute meaningfully to the development and advancement of humanity. It was a vision rooted in the conviction that political independence will remain incomplete without intellectual independence, and that no nation could attain enduring greatness without universities capable of producing ideas, nurturing talent, and shaping enlightened citizens. That vision remains as compelling today as it was at the university's founding. Indeed, it finds its most eloquent expression in the timeless motto that has guided this institution for more than 6 decades: to restore the dignity of man. Those 6 words, they are more than a motto. They are our institutional philosophy. They define our identity, illuminate our mission, and challenge every generation of scholars, teachers, students, and leaders to ensure that knowledge remains inseparable from service, excellence from integrity, and innovation from humanity. However, every generation must answer a defining question: how do we restore the dignity of man in our own time? Our age presents challenges unknown to previous generations. Artificial intelligence is reshaping the frontiers of knowledge and work. Digital technologies are transforming learning, research, and governance. Universities now compete within a global knowledge ecosystem where excellence is measured not only by academic reputation, but by innovation, social impact, international collaboration, and the ability to respond creatively to rapidly changing realities. These transformations present both opportunity and obligation. They require universities to move beyond the preservation of inherited tradition towards the courageous pursuit of institutional renewal. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this convocation holds an even deeper significance because it coincides with a defining season in the life of our university. Barely 11 months ago, my administration accepted the sacred responsibility of leading this great institution with a clear conviction that universities must continually reinvent themselves if they are to remain faithful to their founding ideals. We understood from the very beginning that universities decline long before their buildings begin to crumble. They decline first in confidence. They decline when vision surrenders to routine, when excellence becomes satisfied with memory, and when institutions begin to celebrate what they once were more than what they still can become. We therefore chose another path. Inspired by the timeless example of Nehemiah, we embraced a simple but profound philosophy. Arise, let us rebuild. Not because our history had failed us, but because history imposes a permanent obligation upon every generation to leave behind an institution nobler than the one it inherited. It was not merely a call to reconstruct fiscal infrastructure. It was a summons to renew institutional confidence, strengthen academic excellence, expand the frontiers of research, embrace innovation, and restore the lion's den to even greater heights of global relevance. That conviction has shaped every decision of our administration. We refuse to allow yesterday's excellence become tomorrow's excuse. We widened the gates of opportunity, strengthened the architecture of scholarship, opened new frontiers of learning, and invited the future to find a permanent address within the lion's den. It is against this background that our rebuilding agenda rests upon three interconnected commitments. The first, we should reimagine the university, i.e., to rethink the role within an increasingly interconnected and knowledge-driven world. The second is to reinvent institutional capacity, that is, to strengthen the structures, systems, policies, and people that sustain excellence. The third is to rebuild for global relevance while remaining unwaveringly faithful to our founding mission of restoring the dignity of man. These commitments have shaped every major decision of our administration. To reimagine the university is to recognize that higher education can no longer be confined within the traditional boundaries of teaching and certification. The modern university must become a center of discovery, innovation, and societal transformation. It must anticipate change rather than merely react to it. It must produce graduates who are intellectually agile, technologically proficient, ethically grounded, and globally competitive. Equally, it must reinvent international capacity as a process, and in that way, recognize that excellence cannot flourish without strong foundations, sound governance, transparent administration, motivated staff, digital transformation, quality assurance, strategic partnership, and sustainable financing. And they are no longer optional aspirations. They are indispensable conditions for institutional relevance in the 21st century. Guided by these convictions, our administration has sought to strengthen the academic enterprise through continuous curricular renewal, enhanced quality assurance, and greater support for teaching, research, and innovation. We have remained committed to creating an environment in which scholarship flourishes, ideas are encouraged, and excellence becomes an institutional culture rather than an occasional achievement. The foregoing explains why, within its first year, this administration has initiated over 100 strategic projects across the Nsukka, Enugu, and our campuses. This underscores the unwavering commitment to institutional renewal. These interventions span to expansion of the College of Medicine with new hostels, laboratories, and faculty facilities, the reconstruction of major roads, rehabilitation of student hostels and academic buildings, and the revitalization of critical infrastructure, including the Margaret Epo Convocation Arena. And if you look right and you look left, it is an eloquent testimony of the power of will to restore and revitalize the Margaret Epo Convocation Arena. I commend the management for their support in achieving this. I commend the staff. I commend all the people that have contributed in making sure that we find ourselves in this amiable environment. Thank you very much. The university has also advanced in digital transformation
through the deployment of a modern digital library, ICT infrastructure, solar power installations, content production facilities, and enhanced internet connectivity. Investments in research, entrepreneurship, security, environmental sustainability, campus transportation, student and staff welfare, and governance reforms further demonstrate a holistic approach to rebuilding the institution. In specific terms, the university has recorded remarkable progress in strengthening the quality, relevance, and competitiveness of our academic programs. Following rigorous inspection by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, our MBBS admission quota increased from 180 to 400 students. And I hasten to add that a quota of 400 remains the highest in any university in Nigeria. The quota for dentistry has now rose from 15 to 60. Our academic horizon has equally expanded through the approval by the National Universities Commission of the unbundling of our Department of Mass Communication into 5 specialized degree programs. Beyond this, 4 new academic programs, agribusiness, fisheries and aquaculture, industrial arts, and criminology and security studies secured full accreditation. Our central library is undergoing comprehensive digital transformation. The operationalization of our cybersecurity and artificial intelligence research and development laboratory marks defining milestone in our determination to prepare our students for the economy of tomorrow rather than the certainties of yesterday. Also, the systematic digitalization of our administrative processes underscore our strong conviction that institutions aspiring to greater global relevance must ensure that efficiency, transparency, and accountability become embedded not only in policy, but also in everyday practice. Within the past 11 months, our 3 campuses have become living construction sites, as almost all our internal roads have undergone comprehensive reconstruction, complete with modern drainage systems and pedestrian walkways. The rehabilitation of Nsukka male hostel, Eyoita female hostel, Nkrumah hostel, and Audley hostel underscores the point that the transformation of our student hostels has gathered remarkable momentum. Perhaps of symbolic significance is the rebirth of these historic 6 flats, which once abandoned to silence, they now resonate once again with the sounds of reconstruction. At our College of Medicine, Nsukka, new 40-room hostel for nursing and pharmacy students are rising alongside additional faculty buildings and modern laboratories. The long-delayed Senate building of the University of Nigeria. And we need to say that the University of Nigeria is the only new generation, old generation university that does not have a Senate building. And so, when we assumed office, we felt that it was high time the first university in Nigeria should have a Senate building. And we are happy to announce today that that building, long awaited, construction has returned and it is coming up. And we are optimistic in the not distant future, we can proudly say, as the first university in this country, that we also have a Senate building. Beyond this, we have reclaimed our physical environment through the removal of illegal structures, the restoration of green landscapes, the reconstruction of collapsed perimeter fences, and the determined enforcement of our regional master plan. A magnificent new entrance gate now welcomes visitors to our Nsukka campus. The new gate is not just there as an architectural landmark, but as a symbolic declaration that the University of Nigeria is entering a new chapter
in institutional history. Collectively, they represent deliberate investments in restoring the University of Nigeria's fiscal landscape, academic excellence, global competitiveness, and the enduring mission of restoring the dignity of man. At the heart of every great university, there are its people. Buildings define campus. People define its character. For this reason, staff welfare and professional development have remained central to our rebuilding agenda. Salaries continue to be paid promptly. Academic staff receive their earned entitlements in accordance with agreements reached with the federal government, while arrangements have reached advanced stages for the implementation of corresponding benefits for our non-teaching staff. Within this short period, 1,984 deserving members of staff across various cadres have received well-earned promotions, including 25 distinguished scholars who attained the rank of professor. Our students remain the reason for our existence. Every policy ultimately finds its highest justification in the opportunities it creates for young men and women whose hopes converge within this university. Through initiatives such as the Young Africa Works Program implemented in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, thousands of our students have acquired entrepreneurial competencies, employability skills, and financial support that prepare them not merely to seek employment, but to create opportunities for others. Tuition assistance, zero interest educational support, enterprise funding, and digital learning interventions have reflected our conviction that education should never be constrained by circumstance nor talent defeated by adversity. Our commitment to rebuilding has equally found expression in the deliberate strengthening of the university's innovation system. We recognize that the universities which will shape the future are those that transform ideas into solutions, research into enterprise, and knowledge into measurable social impact. Through the continued development of Rural Nigeria Hub and the emergence of university-supported startups in nationally competitive competitions and intervention programs, we are nurturing a culture in which creative entrepreneurship and interdisciplinary collaboration become integral to the academic experience. Innovation, after all, is not merely about technology. It is about expanding the frontiers of human possibility. Institutional renewal must also be sustained by sound governance. Great universities, they are not built on personalities. They are built on enduring systems. Policies often outlive buildings, and institutions derive their resilience not only from inspiring leadership, but from governance frameworks that promote continuity, accountability, and excellence. It is in this regard that the university has continued to strengthen its policy architecture in areas such as research, public-private partnership, information and communication technology, internationalization, and institutional collaboration. During the past 11 months, we have welcomed distinguished delegations from Sweden and Taiwan, while our delegation have engaged strategic institutions and governments, including the People's Republic of China, the Republic of Belarus, Michigan State University in the United States, University of Waterloo in Canada, Nelson Mandela University in South Africa, and the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. These engagements have yielded tangible outcomes. Research partnerships, staff and student exchange programs, collaborative research centers, and expanded opportunities for international academic cooperation. Our commitment to impactful research has equally found expression through the Including Africa project on climate finance and sustainable development, implemented by our Resource and Environment Policy Research Center. Even more gratifying is the selection of the center among the 13 leading African think tanks under the Raise Africa Consortium coordinated by the African Union. And I want to recognize in a special way the director of that center, our very cerebral and scholarly Professor Nnemeka Chukwuone. Thank you. Our increasing global visibility has also found objective expression in international rankings. Across multiple reputable ranking systems this year alone, the University of Nigeria has continued to earn recognition as one of Nigeria's foremost universities and among Africa's leading centers of scholarship. I can tell you that the released rankings, one of them placed University of Nigeria as number 2 in Nigeria. Another one placed University of Nigeria as number 1 in Nigeria and number 4 in Africa. It is our goal that we continue to pursue excellence, that we continue to pursue global rankings and competitiveness until University of Nigeria becomes number 1, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the rebuilding of the University of Nigeria cannot occur in isolation from the rebuilding of our nation. We believe that Nigeria's aspiration for sustainable development, technological advancement, and global competitiveness cannot indeed be realized without universities that are intellectually vibrant, internationally connected, and socially relevant. Our ambition, therefore, extends beyond institutional advancement. We seek to position the University of Nigeria as a globally respected center of scholarship, innovation, and thought leadership. At this convocation, we shall confer a total of 2,994 higher degrees, comprising 1,390 Doctor of Philosophy PhD degrees, 1,340 master's degrees, and 214 postgraduate diplomas. These figures are not statistics to be announced and forgotten. They are human stories written in the quiet language of sacrifice. Behind each of these qualifications lies an inspiring story of perseverance, disciplined inquiry, intellectual resilience, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Every dissertation successfully defended, every thesis completed, and every research breakthrough represented here today enriches humanity's collective reservoir of knowledge and strengthens the enduring relevance of the university as society's foremost laboratory of ideas. Together, they remind us that excellence is never an accident. It is the patient reward of minds that refuse the comfort of intellectual complacency. Yet, today's celebration extends beyond scholarship to another enduring truth, that knowledge finds its highest fulfillment when it transforms the human condition. For this reason, the University of Nigeria also honors 6 distinguished personalities whose lives have become compelling testimonies that leadership, enterprise, faith, and creative vision are themselves profound expressions of scholarship in action. Today, the University of Nigeria proudly confers the honorary degree of Doctor of Public Administration, honoris causa, on Her Excellency, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, OON, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in recognition of her distinguished contributions to public service, women empowerment, social development, and her unwavering commitment to advancing the welfare and dignity of vulnerable Nigerians. We also confer the honorary degree of Doctor of Business Administration, honoris causa, on High Chief William Sabo, an accomplished entrepreneur, industrialist, and philanthropist, whose remarkable enterprise, visionary investments, and enduring commitments to community development have created opportunities, transformed lives, and inspired a culture of responsible wealth creation. The honorary degree of Doctor of Social Work, honoris causa, is equally conferred on Dr. W. Franklin Richardson, an eminent American faith leader, global Christian statesman, education advocate, and humanitarian, whose visionary leadership, unwavering commitment to Christian ministry, educational advancement, and humanitarian services have impacted countless lives across nations and generations. Similarly, the university proudly confers the honorary degree of Doctor of Business Administration, honoris causa, on architect Kesi Kelechi Oji, an accomplished architect, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, whose distinguished professional career, innovative leadership in the built environment, and sustained investments in education, enterprise, and national development exemplify the transformative power of visionary service. The university will also honor two illustrious sons of scholarship with the conferring of the title of Professor Emeritus, Professor Peter Jazzy Eze, eminent anthropologist, distinguished teacher, and prolific scholar, and Professor Boniface Obinna Okere. Again, I was privileged to study under Professor Okere, eminent jurist and distinguished scholar of international law, whose careers have profoundly enriched scholarship and humanity. These 6 lives, 6 different journeys, one enduring testimony that the highest honor any human being may attain is not the applause of the age, but the privilege of enlarging the possibility of other lives. In celebrating these distinguished personalities, we celebrate more than remarkable careers. We celebrate lives that affirm an enduring truth, that the highest purpose of knowledge is not self-glorification, but service, not personal advancement alone, but societal transformation. Their lives remind us that true greatness is measured not by the honors one receives, but by the hope one restores in the lives of others. Distinguished graduates, if today's higher degrees signify anything, they signify that society has decided to trust you with its future. A doctorate is not a crown placed upon the head of knowledge. It is a lamp placed and lit in the hands of responsibility. From this day forward, you can no longer afford the luxury of intellectual indifference. The questions confronting our nation and our world, such as poverty amidst plenty, conflict in diversity, technological disruption, environmental uncertainty, ethical decline, and the fragile architecture of global peace will increasingly look to those of you that are being on today for answers. May your scholarship never become imprisoned within the shelves of libraries. May your research escape the narrow boundaries of academic journals and find living expression in public policy, technological innovation, industrial transformation, ethical leadership, and community development. To our distinguished recipients of honorary degrees, you remind us that the scholarship does not reside only in libraries and laboratories. And therefore, we urge you to use what has been given to you as an opportunity to advance humanity. By honoring you, the university is also inviting generations yet unborn to understand that excellence is never an occupation. It is a lifelong habit of becoming useful to humanity. As this historic 55th Convocation gradually draws its curtain, one thought continues to echo across these hills. The University of Nigeria was never concerned merely to award degrees. It was imagined as a moral idea, an enduring argument that education remains humanity's most eloquent pathway. It remains its pathway to freedom, an abiding faith that knowledge is most beneficial when clothed with character, an unshakable conviction that the dignity of man is both the beginning and the destination of authentic scholarship. That idea remains alive. It breathes in every classroom, where curiosity triumphs over complacency. It breathes in every laboratory where imagination confronts impossibility. It breathes in every library where silent pages continue their timeless conversation with inquisitive minds. It breathes in every graduate who chooses service above self, integrity above expediency, and humanity above personal ambition. Long after today's applause has dissolved into memory, long after these academic gowns have returned to their wardrobes, and long after the certificates have found their frames upon familiar walls, one question will remain. When your generation encountered history, did it merely admire the world it inherited, or did it enlarge it? May history answer that question generously. May it remember that upon these hills, a generation of scholars rose to rebuild not only an institution, but also confidence, not only confidence, but also hope, not only hope, but also humanity. May it remember that the University of Nigeria remained faithful to the dream planted here by its founding father, that knowledge must forever stand in the service of human dignity. Knowledge, no doubt, is light. Character is its flame. Service is its radiance. And humanity is the canvas upon which both find their enduring meaning. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I decided to reserve the best for the last. It is therefore my honor and rare privilege to recognize my dear wife that is sitting patiently and watching me as I read this address. Thank you, Ezigbo Grace Otwanya, and all the vice chancellors of various universities that are here. I may kindly request that Professor Aloysius Okolie, the vice chancellor of ESUT, should please extend our commendations and our gratitude to all the visiting professors. And for those that have not been mentioned specifically, please know that you have a bundle of gratitude from University of Nigeria. To restore the dignity of man is our covenant. That is our calling. That is the eternal roar of the lion's den. And that is how the University of Nigeria shall continue from generation to generation to restore the dignity of man. Thank you. And may God Almighty bless the University of Nigeria, bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and bless our common humanity. Thank you.
Our Vice Chancellor deserves a standing ovation. Thank you. The Vice Chancellor has made tremendous impact in the university within a short period of time, just about 11 months. Can we give it up to him again? Thank you, thank you. May I quickly invite the Pro-Chancellor of our university to please deliver his address.
The visitor to the university, Your Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, ably represented by the Vice Chancellor of University of Benin, Professor Omorige, the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, OON, CON, ably represented here by Honorable Wahab Alawiye King, the Special Assistant to the President, Honorable Minister of Education, ably represented here, Your Excellencies, State Governors here present. Well, let me start with our own governor who honored us with the lecture on Thursday. Is here represented by his deputy, Barrister Onya, members of Federal Executive Council here present, members of the national and state legislatures here present, Executive Secretary of NUC, the Chancellor, UNN, my own traditional leader, the Oni of Ife, Babatunde Ogunwusi Ojaja II, Kabisio. My colleagues, the members of the University of Nigeria Governing Council, the Vice Chancellor of UNN, and his amiable wife, Barrister Grace Ngozi Otuoya. Other Vice Chancellors here present, most especially my dear wife, Professor Olayinka Ramota Karim, the Vice Chancellor of Fonte University, Deputy Vice Chancellors and Principal Officers of the University, the Provost, Dean of Faculty and Directors of Institutes and Centers, members of the University Senate, distinguished academic and administrative staff, dear alumni of UNN, my lords, spiritual and temporal, your royal highnesses, esteemed guests of the university, great lions and lioness. Look, please let us row up properly. Great lions and lioness. Better, thanks. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, it is with deep sense of honor and immense gratitude that I stand before you, distinguished audience, as Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of the University of Nigeria. This ceremony marks my first major public engagement in this capacity, and I consider it a great privilege to join the university community in celebrating another milestone in the history of this great institution. On behalf of the Governing Council, I warmly welcome the visitor to the university and President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the Chancellor of the university, His Imperial Majesty Oba Babatunde Ogunwusi, the Oni of Ife Ojaja II, the Executive Governor of Enugu State, ably represented by his deputy, National Assembly members, honorable ministers, traditional rulers, members of the diplomatic corps, alumni, parents, friends of the university, and indeed our distinguished graduating students. I also extend a special welcome to the recipients of honorary doctorate degrees of our foremost university. Your remarkable contributions to national development, visionary leadership, innovative enterprise, rigorous scholarship, and our common humanity embody the ideals for which this university stands. We are proud to celebrate your achievements on this historic occasion. Congratulations on this momentous milestone, and I urge you to keep the banner of excellence, sacrifice, and service aloft. Today's event is also a reaffirmation of the enduring vision of our founding fathers, who established the University of Nigeria as Nigeria's first indigenous and autonomous university, dedicated to restoring the dignity of humanity through knowledge. It is on that basis that under my leadership, with the support of all of you all as stakeholders, UNN shall reclaim its numerous status as the flagship of Nigeria's university system. This will be achieved by doing very few things differently. After all, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the extra. As lions and lioness, our distinguished faculty and staff will be making a renewed commitment to embodying the strength, courage, resilience, and dignity of the university as kings and queens that they are. This is an era of recalibrating the mandate of the university through quality teaching, innovative research, and community service that directly impact on national development and global peace. We must not rest on our laurels, but continue to strive till UNN reclaims its status. To our graduating students, I offer my warmest congratulations. You have worked diligently to reach this important milestone. While today marks the completion of one chapter, it also signals the beginning of another. The degrees you receive today are not mere certificates. They are symbols of responsibility. The world expects you to be the leading innovators, game changers, problem solvers, ethical leaders, and worthy ambassadors of this great university. Always remember that wherever you go, you carry the proud identity of the University of Nigeria. Uphold our values of integrity, excellence, diligence, and service to humanity wherever you find yourselves. You should maintain that fierce bravery and resilience to restore the dignity of man. You are symbols of purity, integrity, dignity, and reality. Don't take yourselves for granted as you take on the world. Let me use this opportunity to especially acknowledge our Vice Chancellor, Professor Simon Uchenna Ochoaya, the Senate, management, staff, and students for their dedication. Within the last 11 months, the University of Nigeria has recorded significant achievements in academic excellence, infrastructural transformation, research outputs, international collaborations, digital transformation, and institutional reforms. These achievements demonstrate that, thank you. These achievements demonstrate what visionary leadership and teamwork can be accomplished. As Governing Council, we shall continue to provide strategic leadership, strengthen institutional governance, and ensure that the university operates in accordance with its statutory mandate. We are committed to promoting transparency, accountability, financial discipline, and academic excellence while creating an enabling environment for teaching, learning, community service, research, and innovation. I reiterate that our goal is to reposition the University of Nigeria as Nigeria's #1 university and one of Africa's foremost citadels of learning, whose graduates can compete confidently anywhere in the world. To achieve this vision, the Governing Council will continue to initiate and support reforms that enhance teaching and learning, strengthen research, expand digital infrastructure, modernize our physical facilities, improve staff welfare, deepen partnership with government, industry, and international institutions, and create greater opportunities for our students and alumni. We recognize that government alone cannot meet all developmental needs of the university. Therefore, I want to use this opportunity to call upon our alumni all over the world, the private sector, philanthropists, corporate organizations, and development partners to join us in the building of a great University of Nigeria. Every investment in this institution is an investment in the future of Nigeria and indeed Africa. Every kind gesture is a support for the advancement of humanity at large. Before I conclude, I want to express our sincere appreciation to the federal government of Nigeria for its strong support to our universities and for the various reforms aimed at strengthening higher education. We shall continue to work closely with the government and all stakeholders to ensure that the university continues to serve the purpose of catalyzing national development. And to our parents, thank you for the sacrifices you have made in parents and guardians. Thank you for the sacrifices you have made in nurturing these young men and women. Your investment has yielded to this harvest, and you deserve our heartfelt appreciation. You deserve a rousing round of applause for your efforts and sacrifices on these proud lions and lionesses. Congratulations. Finally, I facilitate with every graduate once again. May your education continue to illuminate your path and empower you to contribute meaningfully to the progress of our nation and humanity. Thank you all for listening. May God bless you all. Thank you.
A better applause for our Pro-Chancellor. He is a father and a renowned scholar. This morning he made a donation of books to the Vice Chancellor and to the university. A carton of books of different types that he wrote and the ones he edited. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. I now have the pleasure to respectfully invite our distinguished Chancellor to deliver his convocation address.
The visitor, the father of our nation, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I use you as a point of contact to your dear and amiable wife, my own mother, the mother of our nation, who is also an awardee today, distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON. The Honorable Minister of Education, Your Excellencies, State Governors here present, the Deputy Governor of Enugu State, members of national and state legislators here present, Executive Secretaries, Vice Chancellor of University of Nigeria. I really thank you so very much for this transformation. I came into the university, I couldn't recognize it. I have been here as the Chancellor of this university for the last 11 years. And today, I see transformation. It's indeed a beginning of new thing, a new dawn for our university. And I know because this is the very first time the indigenous son of Nsukka will also be the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor of the university. Please let us appreciate him better. His Majesty is here, the Chairman of Enugu State Traditional Rulers, His Majesty Asadu Ogadagidi. I greet you. Congratulations. During your reign, your son is the Vice Chancellor of this university. Members of the University Senate, distinguished academic and administrative staff, dear alumni of the university, the Pro-Chancellor, you are here also with your amiable wife. I gave you a name today, Pro-VC. The wife is the Vice Chancellor and you are a Pro-Chancellor. Please appreciate him. The esteemed guests of the university, the great lions and lionesses. Oh, you are not really happy because of the long speeches? Don't worry, I will be very brief. I will only spend 3 hours for my speech. The great lions and lionesses. Are you not happy today? If you are happy today, let me hear that aura very well. The great lion and lionesses. Please give yourself a resounding round of applause. The gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, parents, guardians, and well-wishers, I thank you all. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the 55th Convocation ceremony of the University of Nigeria today. It's a day of celebration, gratitude, and rededicated commitment to the ideals upon which this great institution was founded. I warmly congratulate every graduate receiving postgraduate diploma or higher degree today. Your success is the product of hard work, perseverance, sacrifice, and resilience. Many of you overcame financial, personal, and academic challenges to reach this milestone. You deserve every applause you receive today. I welcome and felicitate with the nominees of the rank of Professor Emeritus. Today, we also celebrate distinguished Nigerians who have been honored for their exceptional contributions to national development and humanity. Honorary doctorate degrees are among the highest honors any university can bestow. We congratulate our distinguished awardees and thank them for enriching our society through their remarkable achievements. The University of Nigeria occupies a unique place in the history of higher education in Nigeria and the African continent. Conceived by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe as the first fully indigenous university in Nigeria, this institution was established to produce graduates who would possess not only intellectual excellence, but also character and courage to transform our society. For over 6 decades, the University of Nigeria has remained faithful to that notable vision. It has produced governors, ministers, judges, captains of industry, accomplished academics, renowned medical practitioners, engineers, entrepreneurs, innovators, diplomats, and countless professionals who have made and still making invaluable contributions across Nigeria and the world. The enduring strength of this university lies in its ability to continually reinvent itself to meet contemporary challenges. I therefore commend the governing council led by the Pro-Chancellor, Professor Adeboye Karim, and the management team under the leadership of Vice Chancellor, Professor Simeon Uchenna Otunaya, for their commitment to repositioning this great institution for greater relevance and global competitiveness. I have observed with satisfaction the deliberate efforts being made by the management to improve infrastructure, strengthening academic programs, embrace digital transformation, enhance research, promote innovation, improve security, beautify the campuses, and restore the pride of which university has always been known. These efforts demonstrate purposeful leadership and deserve our collective support. Our appreciation also goes to the federal government of Nigeria for its continued support for public universities We equally acknowledge our alumni and friends of the university for their support in driving the change we are witnessing in the university. To our graduating students, your certificates are symbols of academic accomplishment, but your true worth will ultimately be measured by your character, integrity, and the impact you make in society. The world you are entering is changing rapidly. Artificial intelligence, digital technology, climate change, global economic uncertainties, and evolving labor markets demand graduates who are adaptable, innovative, lifelong learners. You must therefore continue to acquire new knowledge and develop new skills beyond the walls of the university. As ambassadors of this University of Nigeria, let your conduct be everywhere reflect values of discipline, excellence, integrity, and hard work, and respect for humanity. Let your success become a testimony to the quality of education you have received here. Remember that education is not solely for personal advancement, it is a powerful instrumental for societal transformation. Use your knowledge to create opportunities, uplift others, build businesses, advance science, improve healthcare, protect the environment, strengthen democratic institutions, and contribute to peace and sustainable development. I am optimistic about the future of this great university. The University of Nigeria possesses intellectual capital, the heritage, the resilience and leadership necessary to remain one of the Africa's foremost universities. Together, we must continue to protect its values, strengthen its traditions, and invest in future. I therefore invite our graduates and alumni to join the management of the university in ongoing efforts to rebuild the university. Let us all recommit ourselves to supporting this institution in its quest for environmental and academic excellence, impactful research, innovation, entrepreneurship, and service to humanity. I wish you success in your future endeavors, and by the power conferred on me as the Chancellor of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, I have now used my 3 hours for my speech. Thank you, and God bless you.
Please, a better applause for His Royal Majesty. Thank you, sir, for your kind words. We are very, very pleased that you are here with us, because there's a way that your presence lightens the whole atmosphere. Thank you, sir. I most respectfully invite the visitor to the University of Nigeria, ably represented by Professor Edoba Omorigie, to please deliver the visitor's address.
Thank you very much, Registrar. Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, here ably represented by the Senior Special Assistant to President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Honorable Wahab King, the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, CON, here ably represented, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Enugu State, my learned friend, Barrister Ifeanyi Osai, members of the Federal Executive Council here present, members of the National and State Legislature here present, Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission here ably represented, Your Royal Majesty and Chancellor of this great university, the Honor of Ife, Oba Ojaja II, CFR, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of this great university, Professor Adeboyega Karim and his amiable wife, members of the Governing Council of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, the Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor Simon Uchenna Otoya, former Vice Chancellors of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, other Vice Chancellors here present, Deputy Vice Chancellor and other Principal Officers of the University, Provosts, Deans and Directors of the University, members of the University Senate, distinguished academics and non-academic staff of the University, amiable graduate students of the University, distinguished alumni of the University of Nigeria, distinguished honoraries at this convocation ceremony, my lords, spiritual and temporal, your Royal Highnesses here present, greatest lions and lionesses, esteemed guests of the university, distinguished gentlemen of the press,
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a deep sense of national responsibility that I join the Chancellor, the Pro-Chancellor, and Chairman of the Governing Council, and members of the Council of the University of Nsukka, Nigeria, Nsukka, pardon me, the Vice Chancellor, staff, students, alumni, and the distinguished guests at the 55th Convocation ceremony of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Convocation ceremonies are more than the conferment of degrees. They are solemn affirmation that knowledge is humanity's most enduring investment, and that every generation should prepare those who inherit the responsibility of building a better society. Universities do not merely graduate students. They shape ideas, destinies, and preserve the moral and intellectual foundations upon which nations rise. Today's event marks an important milestone for the University of Nigeria, especially for the graduates. For the university, it's a celebration of the continuation of the enduring ideas upon which this university was established by the late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe at the dawn of our country's independence. In the past 65 years, the pursuit of that noble ideals has produced leaders in government, business, academia, medicine, engineering, law, science, agriculture, creative industries, and many other sectors. These leaders have been making significant contributions to the development of our great country. I therefore congratulate the University of Nigeria for its consistency in contributing quality manpower to drive our economy and for advancing policies that are relevant to research and innovation that provide solutions to our societal challenges. Let me also congratulate the graduating students whose hard work, perseverance, and determination have culminated in today's celebration. Today is a victory lap. I will survive the rigorous academic demands and the unique character building which the University of Nigeria is reputed for. Your success is a proof of your resilience and the sacrifices made by your families, lecturers, and mentors. Looking at your faces, I see a strong passion, determination to succeed, and the hunger to contribute to nation building. My dear graduates, as you leave the walls of this great institution, remember that the certificate you'll be given today is an invitation to national service. Nigeria needs your knowledge, your creativity, your courage, and your integrity. The future of our country will be shaped not only by government, but also by young men and women like you, who are prepared to solve problems, create jobs, build industries, and strengthen our democracy. I know that you are anxious about what the future holds for you, especially in the face of the unemployment rate in the country. I will not stand here to paint a picture of effortless prosperity to you, but I can assure you that my administration is doing everything possible to ensure that our youth are productively engaged. We are promoting digital economy by expanding tech hubs, digital skills training, and providing funding for young tech entrepreneurs. We have equally laid out plans to repackage the National Youth Service Corps, the NYSC, to be skill and entrepreneurship oriented and technology driven. I therefore urge you to embrace the future with optimism. Deploy the knowledge you have acquired from this great university to fill any gap you observe in our society. Carve a niche for yourselves and let our country feel the impact of your education. My administration recognizes that education is the most strategic investment any nation can make in its future. It is the foundation upon which our quest for sustainable economic growth, technological advancement, national security, and social cohesion are built. On our part, we will continue to provide opportunities for Nigerian students through the Students' Loan Scheme managed by the Nigerian Educational Loan Fund, NELFund. The scheme is making higher education more accessible to all young Nigerians, regardless of their financial background. This initiative reflects our conviction that no qualified Nigerian should be denied access to education because of economic circumstances. Through the Tech Fund, we will continue to prioritize increased investment in infrastructure, staff development, and support for research and innovation, and promote curriculum reforms.
Our goal is to ensure that our higher institutions produce graduates who are not only employable, but are also capable of creating employment and driving economic transformation. Furthermore, this administration is committed to improving the welfare and capacity of academic and non-teaching staff through better pay package, reforms that encourage professional development, research excellence, and institutional stability. We understand that a motivated workforce is indispensable to a productive university system. While the government is doing its part, I challenge Nigerian universities to live up to their calling. Our country is facing numerous challenges: insecurity, food insecurity, climate change, technology lag, among others. We are looking up to the universities to provide evidence-based advice and innovative solutions to these problems. Research outputs from our universities should move from the shelf to industries where they are needed and should translate into policies that shape our developmental priorities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the federal government recognizes the importance of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and what it continues to play in advancing national development. I observe that the University of Nigeria has keyed into the renewed hope agenda of the federal government. The improvements in infrastructure, research output, global visibility, digital transformation, and institutional governance are commendable and worthy of recognition. Commend the Government Council, led by the Pro-Chancellor, Professor Adebayo Karim, and the management team led by the Vice Chancellor, Professor Simon Uchenna Otuanya, for the remarkable progress the university has recorded in the past 1 year. The federal government will continue to support initiatives that strengthen teaching, research, innovation, and infrastructure development across our universities. We shall continue to create an enabling environment that allows our institutions to flourish and contribute meaningfully to national growth and global competitiveness. To these recipients of honorary degrees, I extend my heartfelt congratulations. I also extend my heartfelt congratulations to the emerita professors honored today. Your lives exemplify excellence, enterprise, patriotism, and service to humanity. You serve as role models to our young people and demonstrate that true success lies not only in personal achievement, but also in the positive impact one makes on our society. History teaches us that great nations are not built only by the abundance of their natural resources, but by the quality of their human resources. Every great nation has been sustained by institutions that value knowledge, reward innovation, and inspire excellence. That is why the destiny of Nigeria is inseparably tied to the destiny of higher institutions of the country, including the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Together, let us build universities that shape character as much as competence. Graduates who seek not only employment, but purpose. And in Nigeria, whose greatest export will be the ingenuity of our people. I congratulate the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, on this remarkable achievement. It is the 55th Convocation ceremony taking place today, and wish the institution many more decades of excellence, innovation, and service to Nigeria, Africa, and humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We cannot thank you enough for the NEL Fund scheme that has redirected the indigent persons in our society to our tertiary education. We appreciate that. Thank you. On that note, we want to jump some parts of these items on the agenda. I want to quickly go to conferment of honorary degrees. The Governing Council and Senate of the University of Nigeria have resolved that honorary degree be conferred on these worthy persons whose names are set out here. I therefore call upon the university orator to present the awardees for the degree of honoris causa. Let me quickly invite Her Excellency, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, OON, who has been detailed for the award of Doctor of Public Administration, honoris causa. And I want to invite Professor Obinna Onwebuna to quickly come and read the citation.
Chancellor, sir, it is my singular honor and privilege to present to this distinguished congregation Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, OON, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for the award of the degree of Doctor of Public Administration, honoris causa. Her Excellency's public life has been defined by an unwavering commitment to education, compassionate service, and purposeful leadership. Beginning her career as an educationist, she embraced teaching as a vocation, convinced that education remains the most enduring pathway to human dignity and national transformation. That conviction has remained the golden thread running through every stage of her remarkable journey. Her 12 distinguished years in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria further demonstrated that public office achieves its noblest purpose when it enlarges opportunity, strengthens institutions, and improves the quality of human life. Today, as First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and National Chairman of the Renewed Hope Initiative, she continues to champion nationwide interventions in education, healthcare, economic empowerment, social investment, and sustainable development, bringing renewed hope to vulnerable communities across Nigeria. Throughout her distinguished career, Senator Oluremi Tinubu has exemplified the highest ideals of public administration, integrity in leadership, compassion in service, visionary institutions building, and an unwavering commitment to the common good. Her life's work resonates profoundly with the founding philosophy of the University of Nigeria to restore the dignity of man. Chancellor, sir, by the authority vested in the Senate of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, I have the singular honor and privilege to present Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for the conferment of the degree of Doctor of Public Administration, honoris causa of the University of Nigeria. Chancellor, sir, I so present.
You are clapping. Please, can you give a resounding round of applause to the mother of the nation? You can do better. You can do better, please. Thank you.
No, Mama, no, the Papa. Yes, sir.
Thank you for singing that song. Keep singing. Now our mama be this, so we no get another one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much.
The 55th Convocation ceremony of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where a total of 12,895 students graduated and degrees and other honors were conferred. Stay tuned to Arise News.